second half, and we feel fortunate to win, but we feel good about it too.
Coach, you talk about the importance of the bench on that 10-0 run to end the first half.
Our bench, our bench has been criticized, and I've been one of the guys criticizing. And I told them after the game, I said, you guys really helped us. I told them at the half. We had Ricky and Travis both with 2 fouls, and it really was important for those guys. Demario Mayfield has patiently worked and waited his turn, and he gave us a big boost in the first half. Abuka made some nice plays, and Drazen gave us a few minutes. Vincent has been growing steadily and took a big charge there at one point in the game. But our bench tonight really helped us, and they should be credited with that.
Did you know for sure you were going to have to lean on him heavily after the Vandy game, quick turnaround?
I don't know if I told him before the game. I said we're going to play a lot of players tonight. I thought today in our shoot around we were extremely fatigued, and then I watched some games today, and I watched Kentucky a little bit, and I thought, well, they looked a little fatigued, and they played Thursday night also. So we made a point to play a lot of guys, and foul trouble probably forced us to play a little earlier than we were planning on. But those kids did a nice job.
Did you see much evidence of that fatigue once the game started?
I saw signs of it, and I was trying to hold my timeouts because I knew that we would run out of gas at one point. And I told him, listen, I told him at the 8-minute timeout that we've saved these timeouts so we can rest you to finish this game. But we felt like if we saw the fatigue, we had some real soft cuts in the first half. We weren't very physical, and we didn't operate with much authority in the first half, probably because we're a little sluggish.
They shot 33% in the first half and 62% in the second half. I know you criticized some defensive performances in the second half earlier this season, but what was really the difference in this one?
It was poor. We didn't guard very well. They lit us up in the second half, and we were fortunate the clock ran out, really, because we were having a tough time getting stops in the second half. We made a couple critical errors. We got very sluggish in our shifts, where I said maybe fatigue affected us in our cutting offensively in the first half. I thought in the second half we played a little heavy-legged, but you have to give Florida credit too. They spread us out, and they played and executed very well. But we weren't nearly as effective in the second half.
One more question. You've been wanting to instill a winning attitude in the program since day one, coming off the loss that you had, especially the way you all lost on Thursday. How important was it to get this win today and finish off their comeback?
What's important, and I told him after the game the other night, I said that you're tough enough to come back and beat Florida, and you're tough enough to pick yourself up off the mat and do it again. And then yesterday they had pretty good energy, but I told them again that getting close is not what we came here to do. And as hard as we competed at Vandy, we didn't get the job done, and it was our responsibility to play a little bit better today. And I think they're starting to expect to win. I think they're understanding that they're a lot better than maybe you guys thought they would be. If you had a vote in the league, I don't know. But I think they're starting to believe that, hey, we're starting to be a pretty solid little basketball team, and I'm happy to see that.